Hello and welcome to the Superhero Hub. I'm Sam,
I'm Matt.
and today we're reviewing,
Fear the Walking Dead.
yep, this episode being called Burning in Water, Drowning in Flame, I think. So, to me, my thought was, oh, this kind of showcased how, as opposed to The Walking Dead, where they feel like they have to dedicate a whole other episode to whatever, this episode flicked between them quite well. I.e., if this was The Walking Dead, there would have been an episode with them at the ranch, and there would have been an episode probably of Madison when she goes out to investigate the helicopter crash, and there probably would have been an episode where, like in Mexico, where they go
Yeah,
back to the
but
hotel. Whereas this, it wrapped it all together in
well,
one.
it's not like The Walking Dead never does that, and we did just have an episode where they went off and did a completely different thing for one. So I don't get what you're on about.
I'm saying how The Walking Dead would have split it up into three
Yeah, but
different
The Walking Dead
episodes.
doesn't always do that, and we just had the episode where they went off and did something completely different. The show has done that. It's exactly the same.
No,
It's the same. It's correct.
I can't remember the whole of last season. That never happened on The
Of course
Walking
it
Dead.
did. Of
Can you remember?
course not. I've wiped it out of my memory. I
Well,
don't
there we
know.
go then.
But it happened.
So I'm right.
Okay,
When the court of law, I would have been proved right. So yeah,
sure.
I
But the
get.
beginning was cool with the old couple. I didn't really get what was going on for a while. I wondered if it was some sort of flashback or something.
Yeah, I think the old bird died. I thought it was jokes about her teeth, cause like when
Hmm.
she had her head on his shoulders and she was going at it, I was thinking, why is his neck opening up? Why isn't there blood spraying everywhere? And then you realise her choppers are in. I wonder, cause she's got fake teeth. I wonder if she like bit him, whether she would have got infected, whether he would have got infected or not, because they're fake teeth.
Mm,
Un-
yeah, I don't know.
Unless there's something in her dribble, there must be something in like the saliva that when they're bitten, it like transmits to it. So I guess whether she had fake teeth or not, it wouldn't really matter, because I imagine she'd dribble on them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so the old man who they were like dancing like a couple of episodes ago, just randomly, like who cares? Is meant to be one of them sentimental moments and stuff like that, but like who cares? They're old. So this was crazy how it escalated. So yeah, he wakes up and I guess like the woman died in her sleep or whatever, and I guess ignored him, got out of bed and just walked and was just like staring at the wall. I was wondering as if like because when it was obvious she turned, I was thinking as if she didn't like try and like get him and stuff.
hmm,
Like he must sleep real soundly. So yeah, and then he stands up and then he's realised she's turned, and then she goes at him, but the teeth's in the jar, so she ain't flexing. And then he kind of gets her arm and starts dancing with her, whips out his gat, and then temple to temple blows both their brains out. Well, maybe the front of their heads off. And I guess being dead, like when he stumbles to the ground, like knocks over the oil lamp, and then phew, the whole house is on fire.
yeah. I thought it was pretty cool. Like I said, I didn't really understand what was going on, but it was a strong opening to the episode.
What's not to understand?
Well, what I mean is, I didn't remember who they were, so I'm sitting there thinking, who are these people and why do I care?
Yeah, but it don't matter. Right? Yeah, well, you're not supposed to care, right? It's only like a 30-second thing. So yeah, I didn't care. I just thought it was jokes when he fell over and the lamp went over, and I was like, oh, that's it. Then the house is going up. Um, So yeah, and then it wakes everyone else up. I guess someone must have noticed it's on fire because I guess they've got guards posted at the gates. The house is going up and they're dashing water at her. And then the old guy, which I rated 100% great leadership decision, is like, forget about it, don't waste the water. Because like, yeah, you know what I mean? Just forget about it. The house would have to be gutted anyway, really. I mean, if they if they carried on dashing water at it and put the fire out, it all would have had to be gutted anyway, because everything would have been rotten because of the water when you left it there. So let the thing burn down, then you just have to scrub it all off. You know what I mean?
Right. At first, I wondered if they were all scrambling to put it out of fear that it would attract walkers. But then I thought, why would walkers go to a fire?
Oh, well, it's bright, isn't it? See,
Yeah, maybe.
I wonder why walkers can still like see, because you gotta figure their eyes are gone. They always have the glazed over like dead eye thing. So I've always been of the thing like, why their eyes still active. I get they can hear, and I mean I guess they wouldn't be able to hear. I just don't get how they do stuff. Really, they shouldn't be able to see. They shouldn't be able to hear or smell.
I think you're asking a question you're not really meant to.
Oh, okay. So yeah. Yeah, in The Walking Dead, if there is fire, they'd like clock, and it crackles a bit, doesn't it? So,
But whatever. I guess so. Let it burn out, and then that was it.
well, yeah, yeah, and then it kind of goes on. Alicia's waking up in the morning worse for wear because of them. It's weird the timeline, because at the end of the episode they were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna pop out tomorrow, and find out what happened with the helicopter," and then this episode, like they go on how Alicia's always going to these things, and it's like, I swear she could have only possibly like been to two, and they're going on like she's been to about like a handful of them. So I'm
Mhm.
sitting there thinking, oh, did they not leave, like did they like, right, we're gonna go on an excavation to see what happened with the helicopter, but we're going to leave it 2 weeks, even though it looked like they were leaving there and then. So really, I think they messed the timeline up.
Maybe.
Right? These are questions I should be asking, right?
Possibly. Honestly, I haven't thought about it too much. Yeah, but it did make it seem like they were going to go straight away at the end of the last episode.
Yeah, but then obviously they slept on it for the fire to happen and whatever. So yeah, Alicia and I guess the good one, the good.
Sorry.
No, I think that's
Is he the bad one?
yeah, I think is the bad one. Well, the good
Okay.
brother, who's probably gonna end up getting killed, I hope. Yeah, they end up, um, getting carnal knowledge of each other.
You bet.
I will say. So whatever. Madison kind of goes off, and it kind of transitions to, I guess, Daniel and that doctor guy whose name I can't remember, but whatever, and they're kind of making their way back to the hotel. I'm sitting and thinking to myself, I really should have checked this out because this is completely pointless, like stating. But I wonder if you know Nick's girlfriend, the Mexican girl. I wonder if that's like his daughter.
I'm almost positive that it is.
Yeah, but she's annoying as well because she's like, this is kind of a bad thought to have, but I'm gonna be real. It's like she's like pressuring him, oh, let's leave, let's leave. It's like, yo, the fact this girl's just been like basically half dead, and like she's in relative safety, but she wants to leave, and stuff like she wants to go back to
Not
Mexico.
not only that, but she's pressuring this guy to leave his family.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, let's. Yeah, it's like even if we push that all aside, I want to leave and go back to Mexico. I mean, let's be honest, Mexico was a shithole before it all went to. Let's be
I don't,
honest,
I
like
don't know. I haven't seen it.
is pretty much cack. No offense to like Mexico, but like
Yeah, no offense, but your country shit.
well, come on. I mean, yeah, everything's gone to crap, and it's like, oh, I want to go back to Mexico. It's like, oh, okay, then I guess everything else has gone to crap. But even if like the whole US went to crap, I'd still rather be there than like go to Mexico. It's going to be real hot and sweaty, man.
But at one
And
point, she said, "You're afraid to leave your family." It's like the world's gone to hell. The apocalypse has happened. He has his family. Like, why would he want to leave them?
yeah,
That's
exactly.
crazy to me.
Let's like risk our lives going back to Mexico, to go back to Mexico and do what? Live in some I can't remember the word of the steel, whatever steel hut.
Hmm.
You know, the kind of rigid one, I forget, corrugated or something like that, corrugated steel hut for the rest of your life. So forget Mexico. It's not like there's going to be any good cars there either. Just go to California or something. Or like one of the border towns. It's like, why she. It's like, I guarantee, like in real life, like let's forget this program's scripted. Like he's like, oh okay then, because he's whipped by. I haven't seen him bang yet, so I don't know. But clearly she's got him by the testicles. So I'm sitting there thinking, like in real life, if they were like, oh okay then yeah, I'll go with you, I'll go with you, they'll be dead within a week.
Well, yeah, there's no point for him to leave.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'd send her off. I'd be like, there's plenty of girls.
Oh, she went anyway.
Yeah. And she ain't really that good looking.
Well, matter of opinion.
Yeah, so now we get off that thought. No offense, Mexico, but it's like, come on. It's not like you.
You can't say no offense to Mexico.
Okay, I'm gonna make one more statement, and I'm gonna leave it
Right.
like that. The Americans don't jump over. You can like the Mexicans come over the border to the U.S., right? Not the
They
other
do,
way.
they do, but I assume I don't know anything about Mexico at all. But I assume there must be the wealthy parts of Mexico.
Oh yeah,
Like the poor ones would jump over, sure, but I assume some parts are nice.
yeah, but it's not like there's millions of U.S. citizens jumping over to go to Mexico, is there?
Nah.
I mean, they go for a week on holiday, but they go to the nice place, then come back. Cancun.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the end of my thought process. No offense, Mexico, but it's just all very crazy to me. It's like, what's the allure of Mexico? I guess, I guess really, because it's all gone to crap, you could like literally go anywhere. Because you got to like most people are like zombies now, so you could just go to the nice place. But like, I'd rather be somewhere cool.
Yeah.
Because
But
it's gonna smell nicer. Because if you're in Mexico and it's real hot and you got all these zombies going about, it's gonna smell. And like you're gonna be fatigued because you run it. If you have to run, it's like real hot, and you're like, oh,
I suppose travel would be a concern as well, wouldn't it? Like you'd probably stay on the same continent. You're not going to jump in a plane. You got a zombie on a plane, you're all screwed.
I guess so. So yeah, that's my thought process. So yeah, I mean, you got Daniel and him. They end up going to this hotel, and then there's no guard, and it's all kind of you. Cause something must have happened after he left. Convenient, something happened after he left, and like he like Daniel starts tweaking out because there's like uh the guy's backtracking like, oh, she might still be there or she might have left, and then they go in there and I guess there must have been some sort of attack, and yeah, he kind of leaves the doctor with a bunch of zombies and plods off.
Yeah, to be honest, the entire thing between them two, I didn't really understand the point of it. I didn't get what was going on.
Well, they were kind of getting together to go back to the hotel to find his daughter, but then they realised his daughter ain't there, I guess, so maybe she's dead, maybe she's not. So I guess Daniels just conceded to the fact that, oh, she must be dead. So he's probably going to go on a mad tear, do some crazy stuff, and end up bumping into her and be like, whoops,
Right, but
again.
why did Daniel need him in the first place? Did he not know where the daughter was? I thought he did, didn't he? They were talking like it was somewhere they'd already been.
Um, I guess maybe they moved from where they were to the hotel after he burnt whatever down. You know what I mean? I guess they must have moved from there to the hotel, and then whatever happened, and then they all got split up, or maybe just figured, oh, we'll just travel together.
Oh, yeah, but that went by pretty quickly, didn't it? I suppose having spent an episode with Daniel, they didn't need too much focus on
Yeah.
him in this one.
I think I vaguely remember like the doctor only left the hotel so he could negotiate to get more water from Dante, but he ended up getting captured. So I
Hmm.
guess he was just like planned to dip off and then come back anyway. I mean
Okay.
that's the thought process. But why you'd want to stay in? So yeah, and then I guess Madison goes off there with Troy or whatever, I was expecting them to bang. I thought something hot was going to go down there. Don't ask me why, but I think they're still mine. I,
What, they've got mummy issues.
yeah, I think something kinky is going on there. So
Eh,
yeah, they go on their travels and bump into a federal penitentiary corrections bus, which is upside down, and then he's pulling off some cool tricks with dual-wield melee weapons.
that was cool.
She could barely kill one. She got dropped
Oh,
straight away.
right. Here's what confused me, right?
Yeah,
So, before they leave, the bald guy is like, blah, 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 something Connie, basically insinuating that she might not be able to handle herself out there. And then she starts fronting, like, I totally can, right?
you know it's true.
And then she's out there, and she gets taken down in a hot second by two of them, and she's about to get killed. And your man whips out a bow and arrow and shoots one of them, and she finally gets the other one, right?
Yeah.
And then he comes over and he's like, "Oh, I stand corrected." But why? You were right.
Because I guess maybe because she didn't die. I don't know, but
Because he helped her. Like, if he hadn't helped her, she would have died anyway. It's like, why are you saying you were wrong? You weren't.
yeah, the big error of judgment I thought was the fact she accepted the axe. It's like axes like that ain't chopping through anything. I know they're kind of now they're all squishy and stuff, but like the fact is like you just whack it in the top of the head. You don't go to chop off their head because it gets stuck there, and then they're always you see that on all the zombie shows. They like chop into them long ways, and then they're like trying to yak the axe out, and then they end up dropping. It's
They
sort of
must. They must have known that though, or Troy must have known that.
I don't know. That's why even when he had the machete and stuff like that, I was thinking, is that going to end up getting stuck in on it? They've just got bad weapons. You need like really like a blade or something. Like just stick to knives or like a sword. You need something real sharp like a machete and stuff. That's for hacking. And if you're hacking at them, it's going to get stuck because they've still got a bit of spine left. You know what I mean? At least with Michonne and stuff like that, she lops their head off straight away and stuff like that because that blade's sharp. Those axes ain't nothing. So they end up going to the helicopter crash site and it's been dragged away, and then they kind of bump into some Native American guy who's
Well,
got
first you had the bit with the crow, like
that
eating
was
something's head.
sick.
Yeah.
That was real cool. That was I like that. Yeah. I guess they're like real like grassroots Native Americans. No offense. Where they kind of half scalped him, I guess, and the crow was just. See, I've always wondered why, like, the crows don't get infected, or like vultures or stuff like that, or like dogs and stuff. You only see infected people. So yeah, like the back of his head was like scalped, and then like a crow was just picking at his head, and then that flew off, and then yeah, the guy comes along. Who I don't know who he is, just some Native American guy, and he's got a bunch of other Native American guys, and they're like, "Oh, this is our land" or whatever.
Yeah, that seems to be where they're going with the season, the theme about land and who owns what and whatnot. Because I think the old guy brought it up with the son as they were like fixing the house, talking about land and whatnot. So I guess that's where they're going. I think.
I think Troy knew him because
Yeah,
they were talking personally and stuff like that, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go and take the ranch, I guess." So he must have been like, I guess, a defector from their little thing. I guess it was like, or whatever. Maybe it'll turn out to be that, but yeah.
I guess this is like it seems to be like a new modern trope now, like the badass like Native American guy. Like this is where they've gone with the Native American stock character. That obviously it used to be a savage right back in the day, and then they made them kind of relatable, and now this is where they've gone. But you had the Native American guy in Fargo in the last season as well, who was kind of similar. So I get, is he the big bad of the season? I'm still trying to work out if it's him or if it's Troy.
Um, I think Troy's kind of warming up a bit. I think because they keep going on about his childhood and stuff like that, That's why I thought he was going to end it, because he had a knife to her throat, remember? And then I thought there was going to be a bit of uh, sexual assault going down, but
Mhm.
that didn't turn out. So I think they might bang, and I haven't got a problem with that.
If they do, I think she's going to be using him and manipulating him.
Well, it's got to be good stuff, though. Yeah. So what else happened? How'd the episode end? I'm trying to
Well,
think.
the Native American took their boots, right, and made them walk back to camp.
Yeah, because I think there was like a race when he said he was going there, and I think they were in a mad rush to get there before the Native American guy got there and took whatever. I think. So yeah, that's kind of how it ended. Let's talk numbers.
Um.
The pe
Oh,
the pe
also the daughter jumped in the water for some reason. I didn't quite fully understand.
uh, maybe liberating herself.
I guess. I will. I thought it was pretty good. I'll give it a 7.5.
They'd. It's like, why wouldn't you have just killed the Mexican girl, Nick's girlfriend? I think she should have died, and then he wouldn't have a problem. Because really, the people in this show got real and unrealistic goals. Like the mum wanted to completely like take the whole camp for herself for some reason. Even though
Yeah.
I guess they've got resources now. She knows, but I mean beforehand. So she wanted to just like forget everything and take control of there. Uh, and you got this woman. Oh, I have to go back to Mexico.
I guess it's because of Daniel.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up if they're actually related
It
because
must be.
it's gonna be embarrassing if they're. Um, I'll give it a 7.
Okay.
I guess it's gotta be. We'll see. I think it's going somewhere and it could be interesting. What did you say?
I said 7.5.
Oh, yeah, I ain't giving it that hot numbers because it's like I don't like the continuity's messed up. It's all coming off a bit lazy and dumb to me. So whatever. I'm Sam,
I'm up.
and I guess we'll see you next week. Hopefully it gets better now.